I'm really excited. So we have three presentations today, one on sustainable food, the other one on environment, and finally on climate change. So I would like to invite Chiranjeev first and discuss about sustainable food. So that is an interesting topic. So let's hear what Chiranjeev has to say.
Ma'am, can you allow me to share?
Yes,
Share screen?
yes, I've given the permission.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chiranjeev, and I study in Global Indian International School. Today, I'll be talking about sustainable food. Why choose sustainable food? Environmental stewardship. Discover how sustainable food practices protect natural resources and reduces pollution waste. Health and nutrition. Learn how sustainable farming methods provide nutrition-rich food for optimal health. Supporting local communities. See how sustainable food supports local economies and helps independent farmers thrive. Overcoming challenges. Scaling up. Find out how sustainable food initiatives are overcoming challenges in a large scale production. Consumer awareness. Learn how educating consumers help promote sustainable food practices in everyday life. Changing mindsets. Discover strategies for changing traditional farming practices to more sustainable methods. The consumer's role. Support local farmers. Make a difference by buying directly from farmer markets and supporting local food systems. Reduce food waste. Learn how simple actions like meal planning and composting can help reduce food waste. Educate and advocate. Spread the word about sustainable food and advocate for practices that protect the environment and food security. Government initiatives. Subsidy programs. Learn about government programs that motivate farmers to adopt sustainable agriculture practices. Food labeling. Discover how governments are implementing clearer labeling systems to inform consumers about sustainable food choices. Policies and regulations. Explore policies and regulations that promote sustainable food, agricultural, and food production practices. Time to take an action. Educate yourself. Learn more about sustainable food practices and share your knowledge with others. Support sustainable brands. Choose products from companies committed to sustainable farming and fair trade. Engage in advocacy. Join campaignings and organizations that promote sustainable food and fight for policy change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chiranjeev. It was a wonderful presentation on sustainable food. So, any questions from the audience?
I have a
If you
question.
want to ask anything from his topic and his presentation, you can ask openly.
I have a question.
Yeah, Vivan.
What was the novel? What were? Can you briefly tell me the steps because you did not mention some steps as an example. Could you tell me some steps taken by the government for sustainable food?
Yes, Chiranjeev. So, Vivan's question, Vivan, I think your voice was a bit slow. It was a bit low. You were asking what are the government policies?
Yeah, what were the government policies taken by government of India for sustainable food development?
Okay. So, Chiranjeev?
Yes, ma'am. Can I get a minute, please?
Yeah, sure. Meanwhile, any other question? Any other question, you can let us know. And the first scheme which comes to my mind while Ranjeev is looking for the other things. So I would like to mention about the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Most of you, like few of you would have heard about this thing, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. So it strives to achieve a percentage, maybe around 4% of annual growth in the agriculture sector, right? So by adopting some kind of sustainable practices and all. So there are a number of other policies as well, which the government is taking a step like for sustainable food practices. So that was a bit like a difficult question for Chiranjeev. But then, yes, the government is doing efforts, and this is a nice point for you, Chiranjeev, as well, because if you write something in your presentation, like government has taken some policies, so you should mention a few names as well, like what are the policies taken by them. Okay. So if I ask you, like, because discussing about the policies and all, so that is some elder work. Okay, so like people like you who are very small, but then what is your role in sustainable food? So what do you do at home to like uh, be a part of this sustainable food thing, Chiranjeev?
Buy less junk food like that. Eat more nutritious food.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, like grow more plants.
All right, nice. So my question, like my coming question is for all of you. How many of you, like whenever you eat food, so whatever quantity you are taking in your plate, how many of you finish it completely or there is a wastage?
Ma'am, I finish it completely.
Okay, very nice.
Sometimes I leave little, but no.
Yeah. So that is the first step, I believe, because wastage
Ma'am,
of food is not acceptable, right? This is your step towards sustainable food, right? So maybe like we cannot create policies or we cannot do those bigger things, but then these small things we can start at home. As Chiranjeev said, we should avoid eating junk food and those kind of food which are at all not good for your health as well. And yes, the food which is developed using sustainable practices, that would be certainly better. Okay, so I can see a few hands raised as well. Do you have any questions, Sujata,
Yes,
Trivikram? Okay, Sujata, please
ma'am,
go ahead.
ma'am, I have a question related to sustainable food. That how our food systems are being impacted by climate change.
Okay, so Chiranjeev, do you have to say anything about this?
Yes, like they're being impacted. So like basically when farmers like grow plants and stuff, the climate affects the thing. So if there's like not enough sunlight or not enough rain, this will affect the crops and the nutritious food.
Okay.
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, this is Trivikram. I have a
Okay.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like for the last question and this question, there'll be some linking, but I'll just try to answer. Uh, your PPT is actually very good, and I want to add like few points. That is, you did not mention like sustainable farming, like aquaponics and sustainable way, not using chemical fertilizers, biofertilizers like organic farming. In your house also, like in your house, you put some onion plants, spinach plants. That also not using any chemicals. You're growing that organically. So I just want to give him those points so he can improve his PPT.
Okay, those are nice points, Trivikram, and I'm sure like he would be implementing those things later on. Yes, so this is a learning step for him as well. Thank you so much.